ba, ba, ba. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Season 2 of Halo. I promised you I'd watch it, so I'm watching it. We did take a look at Season 1 a couple of months ago now. It was a long fucking time ago, I will give you that. It was like a good 4 or 5 months ago, but I finally got around to watching Halo Season 2, and I'm gonna be honest, it was still pretty shitty, and I don't think there's any saving this Halo franchise. We are supposed to be in an era of good video game adaptations, with Fallout getting an absolute amazing series. We have Last of Us getting an absolute amazing series. We're getting Knuckles getting a mediocre series, but the Sonic movies are absolutely fucking fire. We have Uncharted being mediocre, but still better than some video game movies. And it seems like video game movies are doing a lot better than what they previously were, but it doesn't seem like we can say that for Halo, because Halo Season 2 is here, and in a futuristic world, humans belong. Human beings must put up a united front in order to stop powerful aliens from taking over and destroying humanity. This has 8 episodes, all that an hour long each, and has a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. So, how the story of Season 2 actually goes is Master Chief and his men, his 3 other sort of companions, are on this sort of planet, and they're trying to save it from the Covenant, the aliens. They go into a fog, and they see them. They get absolutely massacred, and we find out that they're glassing planets, destroying planets, but they're going down to invade the planets as training first. They are trying to get their way to the Halo, because once they have the Halo, they can get the power of life and death itself. So that's what they're going for. They're going for the Halo. And they're destroying planets and fighting the humans. They destroy the human planet. Master Chief goes rogue because they take away his armor. And Kai stays on the ship, and she's training the next generation of sort of Spartans. And she's failing, and half of them get killed in their first action mission. We have the other 2, I do believe, get killed in action, but they had a little bit of story going off, sort of doing their own thing, learning a little bit about themselves. We got backstory for them, and then they died, so we kind of knew it was coming because we got their backstory. But then we also have the pirate from last season getting, like, his kid kidnapped and going on the whole quest to find his kid with his wife and the girl from last season that Master Chief protected and went rogue to protect. So, you know, very similar to the fucking last story with Master Chief going rogue. However, he comes back and puts on his black armor, his iconic black outfit, and he goes to Reach, he goes to the Halo, he saves Kai and her group before they get killed, and then he defeats a Covenant soldier, the Artemis, I think he's called, the sort of highest ranking sort of Covenant warrior, and he then goes inside Halo and speaks to the Demon Ball from the games, and that's where it ends. I skipped over quite a lot of this series because I felt like it was mindless gobble. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. There's also the Flood. The Flood is also here towards the end. It takes over like the human race and destroys like half the ships. But yeah, I think the Flood was really cool. I liked the Flood inclusion. I thought the Flood infection and the early signs of the infection was really interesting. Because in, like, apocalyptic movies, I like the early days of the apocalypse. The early days of the apocalypse are the most interesting ones, because it's the most chaos, it's the most violence, and it's humans having to adjust and get used to this new threat that they're not used to, and that they don't actually know what it is. So they're fighting for their lives, running for their lives, not knowing what these weaknesses are, and the CGI on the actual Flood was really good. Compared to the Spartans, you know, like Master Chief, Kai, the other 2, when they were running, it looked so fucking ugly and janky. It looked so fake. And especially when they jumped as well, it was so fucking strange. They put a lot of effort into the Flood, but not their main character. Their main character looked like ass for half the series. And another downfall of the series, he didn't wear the fucking armor. They took the armor away from him, so he was armorless yet again. Another massive complaint from the first movie, well, not movie, from the first series, was he had no armor. So what did they do second one? Oh, let's take away his armor again. Everyone loved that last time. Very poor decision on their part. However, I did like Kai's story. I felt like I was liking Kai more as a character. She was kind of growing on me. I didn't really like her in the first one, but I quite liked her in this one. She sort of had a very decent character arc. Halsey was trapped in a prison cell trying to get answers out of this one girl for like the first 5 episodes, so her character was pointless. Well, before they got her out, anyway, they got her out and sort of made her experiment on the flood of all things. And there was loads of different stories going on all at the same time, like most shows do. Like Stranger Things does it, Halo does it, and I'm struggling to think of other examples, but I'm going to be honest, this one isn't that interesting, and most of the stories were quite boring. I didn't care about the pirate trying to find his kid. I didn't really care about Kai training the new Spartans. I think that was like the second most interesting story, but it was like second by a fucking long shot. It was like so low down that you could have put it at 4th because nothing deserved to be in 2 or 3. But the first one was obviously I like Master Chief. I like him going on the adventures. I like him sort of going out there, being the Spartan, being the chief, being the inspiration, and kicking Covenant ass. It was cool as fuck watching him fight, especially when they had laser swords, those like kinetic blades. They were cool as shit. They're some of my favorite weapons in Halo, and watching him fight with those was badass as shit. Him and like a Covenant soldier was scrapping with the laser swords, and that was like the best fucking scene in the entire thing. The best fucking scene. They were scrapping. He looked solid. It was one of the better animated fights compared to the rest of them. The Covenant looked shit as well for most of it, except this one fight where they looked pretty decent. All of them looked pretty decent here. I liked that shit. That was all really cool. The fights were cool. The fights were good. The story was shit, but the fights were good. It was just some of the decisions they made were like, why have you done this? And there was the references that were there that you could sort of relay back to the games. I was like, oh, cool, that's where they got that from. I remember that from the second game. I remember that from the first. I remember that from Halo Reach. Yes, I remember all this stuff. You fucking got me. You're tickling me in the nostalgia area. But taking Chief's helmet off is a fucking sin. You took his helmet off, and you took his suit away. The whole thing about Master Chief is that anyone can be under the mask. Well, not anyone, but you get what I mean. Like, the whole point of him having the mask, having the helmet, is so that anyone can connect with him and can relate with him. Same thing with Spider-Man. Same thing with another character which I'm forgetting. A clone trooper, the Mandalorian. Anyone can be under the mask. Anyone can relate to the character. With faceless YouTubers as well. Anyone can be under that mask. Anyone can be the character. Anyone can relate to them. And when they don't have a face, you can easily form that connection. With faceless YouTubers, why do you think they're so popular? With VR YouTubers and VTubers, they get the followers, they get the subscriptions because there is a connection there. Without seeing the other person's face, without seeing what they actually look like, you can form a stronger connection and form a stronger bond with them. And that is what Master Chief is about, or that's what I think Master Chief is about, like the connection that you build, seeing yourself under the mask, believing that you can be this great hero, believing you can be whatever you want to be, believing that you are strong, and that you can do all these seemingly impossible things. It is just, why take off the helmet? Why take off the helmet? I have nothing else to say. The story is shit. I didn't like the story. The story was boring. The fights were interesting. The fights were cool. And the character sort of relationships that grew were pointless because the ones that did grow, they were killed. They got killed. So, like, it was pointless. Like, the two others, not Kai and Master Chief, the other two, I forgot the names. The other two out of the 4, they got murdered by Covenant. They were stabbed with a sort of kinetic needle and exploded. And they went through all the character development for fuck all, because they died. So it just felt pointless. It felt like a little bit of backstab. It felt like it was unjusted. Because I don't know, I put a lot of time and effort into watching this show. Obviously, 8 hours watching it, just to be stabbed in the back, just to be stabbed because the character development was pointless, and I didn't really need to see it, and I didn't really need to sit through it, because they died. And it didn't really affect Chief in any way, because he was like, we're Spartans, we don't need to bury them, we don't really care. And then he did end up caring, but it was only like a slight bit. He held a funeral for them, but that was it, and then he fucked off. And then he decided to go help Kai. Master Chief is the absolute fucking epitome of not following orders here. he did not follow a single order. He was constantly going off on his own. He was about to be court-martialed. They took his armor away because he wasn't doing as he was told. All he wanted was Cortana back. He managed to rescue Cortana as well. So Cortana's back, but our actress changed. For whatever reason, Cortana has a completely different actress now. And this show is... I don't understand. They took Halo and they threw it away. They threw it away and then started writing. Like, they didn't look into Halo. They didn't do a deep look into Halo. They just looked at it and went, right, cool suit of armor, story time. They didn't actually get the story of it. They didn't put, like, much effort into it. They just went, right, Halo's a popular game. It makes money. Put it into a show. Make them wear the armor. Make them have cool fights. Don't care what the story is. Just do it. Just do it. And the writers are like, but we've never played Halo. We're like PlayStation boys. And they're like, I don't care. Write a story. Just fucking write something. Get something down on the paper. And it just ends up being shit, and it doesn't feel like there's any heart to it. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of effort or care put into it. It just felt like this was a cash grab to get people to like Halo, and it's on fucking Paramount Plus of all places. The place with Nickelodeon shit, which is currently being taken off Paramount Plus, by the way. Like, all the Nickelodeon shows are, like, disappearing. So, you can't watch, like, many Nickelodeon shows on Paramount Plus anymore. So, you know. What does they have? They have Knuckles. They have Knuckles as well. Can't think of anything else they have. But I feel biased because I do like Master Chief. I do like the Halo games, but this show just ain't it. So it gets a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry, not sorry.